All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Thursday. Hopefully, you're having a good day. We've got 6 NBA games and we've got 53 college games, I do believe. So, we've got some tournaments starting. We've got some plays there. So, on the NBA, wasn't a ton of plays I love right now. I think later on there will be some really good ones, but we don't have some props out, and the lines are just either a little too high or a little too low if we're talking about unders. So, we're just going to wait a little bit, but I do have some plays that I like, so I'll put that out to you guys. Recap of yesterday, 5 and 7. So we'll go a little more in depth about that at the end, but had some good spots. Little bit of unluckiness, but hey, that's how it works, right? You get lucky sometimes and you get unlucky, but still love the reads, and we have a nice little bounce back day here. So let's get into these 6 games and get you guys on your way. So first game is going to be the Bulls and the Magic. Bulls should be back to their normal lineup after kind of playing a G League game against the Cavs. We see a line of 6.5 for the Magic. They've got good spots. I mean, they should really just absolutely bang through this line. It should be close to a blowout, but I don't know if I trust the Magic to score that much. That said, 218.5 for a Bulls team is ridiculously low, and there's too many good matchups for the Magic to score, so I would lean over 218.5. 76ers and the Celtics. Boston somehow managed to still just destroy with a couple of guys out. Derek White and Pritchard just absolutely went off. Both scored ridiculously high. So you should have normal lineup back. So Kristaps, Tatum, Brown. I think Holiday's going to play. White will obviously play. So your normal rotation against 76ers team that's, for lack of a better term, broken. On the road, I just can't trust the 76ers. That said, 14.5 is a lot, but I would lean there. Over-under of 220.5. I would have a slight lean towards the over in that one. Pacers and the Hawks. This is really the game where you're going to find value tonight. We've got a big over-under of 246.5. Pacers minus 3.5 on the road against the Hawks. Pacers have been playing some good ball, so I could see it. I would have a slight lean towards the minus 3.5 in this spot. Over-under of 246.5. I would lean under. Warriors and the Nets. We see the Nets getting 10.5 at home. Warriors have been rolling since the All-Star break. Nets have been reeling. Do get D'Angelo Russell back, so I guess their normal starting rotation should be pretty much intact. I would lean Nets plus 10.5. I mean, the defense is still solid, so lean that in that game. Over-under of 224.5. Pretty high for a Nets game. I would have a slight lean towards the under. Rockets and the Pelicans. Another game where there will be some value later today. Just waiting for a couple of lines to move. Do have one in that game, but we see the Rockets minus 4.5 on the road. There's no way I can fade the Rockets minus 4.5. I know Pelicans at home are a little bit better, but we're still talking about a team that's 17 and 45. So give me the Rockets. And then last game on the card, Knicks and the Lakers. So Knicks plus 3.5. Looked terrible last game. Lakers have been rolling as of late. Give me the Lakers minus 3.5 at home. I think Luka has a really good night. Triple-double is plus 400. Just throwing that out there. I do think there's possibility for that. Cat, I mean, everybody should be playing for both teams. I know there's a couple of game time decisions, but fully expect normal lineups in that one. Over-under of 230.5. I do like the over in that game. All right, let's get into our plays. Okay, so first play on the card is going to be Trae Young. We're going to ladder Trae Young. I love this spot for Trae. He should be able to rack up a ton of assists tonight. He had 17 against the Pacers last time they played. Now, obviously, that was with Jalen Johnson. A little bit of a different scenario, but good matchups all around for scoring on both sides. So we're going to take his over 10.5 at minus 140 on DK. Going to put 1.4 units on that. A little juiced, but that's okay. Part of the ladder. We're also going to do 0.75 units on his over 11.5 at plus money, and then we're going to do a quarter unit over 12.5 assists. So I like the ladder on Trae today. Next play is going to be Alperen Sengun over 10.5 rebounds. I like this just because Amon Thompson's going to be playing the point guard spot. Van Vliet's going to be out. He has a beautiful matchup here. The Pelicans give up the most rebounds to the center position. 11 of the last 15 centers have gone over their line. So a beautiful spot for Sengun. Also, don't mind his points. I almost put that kind of separately on here. Line's at 20.5. I think he goes over this line. That could be an option. You could take his points plus rebounds. I think there's a couple different ways you could play this. Next play or last play in the NBA right now is going to be Yves Missi under 7.5 rebounds, minus 118 on BetMGM. I like this just when we look at Olynyk and Zion on the court with him, it just kills his rebound chances. Houston's really good at limited rebounds to the center position. So I think guy like Olynyk probably should grab a decent amount of boards today, but his line was just too juiced. It was like 5.5 at minus 150. So didn't want to touch that. Another play that I like is Trey Murphy under 21.5 points. I was in the process of betting it when it jumped to 20. It jumped down a point. So I wasn't able to get it in time, but that's another one I like. But definitely going to be looking at plays throughout the day on all these games. So if you're interested, join the Discord. I will post those. Posted several last night that hit. We had a good night there. Let's see. Another lean I had was Drummond over 9.5 rebounds. That was minus 135 on DK. My only concern is he's only projected to play 20 minutes. That's a tough line to hit in 20 minutes in what is likely to be a massive blowout. So taking any Philly over prop in a potential blowout game doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. Let's get into the college card here. So first play I have with all the games today, we went a little heavy on college just because why not? Let's have a little fun. I like Southern Illinois plus 1.5 versus Indiana State. It's really going to come down to the threes. If Indiana State's hitting the threes, this line could go the other way, but I think Southern Illinois is a better team in my opinion. Next play is going to be Illinois State minus 5.5. So took plays in the first two games today. First one starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. Next one, I believe, is at 3:30. So I like these two plays. And then next one, we're going to take Mount St. Mary's plus 8.5 versus Quinnipiac. I think it's just too much versus Quinnipiac. They've kind of been an up and down team. I think Mount St. Mary's is able to hang in there enough to cover this line for us. And then the next play is going to be UAB. So we're going to take Alabama Birmingham minus 5 versus Florida Atlantic. UAB's just been absolutely rolling. Now, I will say FAU does play a very competitive schedule. So their record, you can't read into it a ton. But UAB's been absolutely rolling. They've been hanging with some great teams. So I think they roll here. And then we're going to go Cleveland State minus 4 versus NKU. NKU's just not been a good team this year. So I do like the spot for Cleveland State. And then our last play is going to be Murray State. We're going to take the Racers minus 4.5 versus Evansville. I bet on this Murray State team a decent amount this year. And I've got a pretty damn good hit rate on them. So I think I probably bet on them 7 times, and I've won at least 5, maybe 6. So I've been able to find some good matchups there and exploit that for Murray State. Another lean I had that did not make the card was North Alabama minus 6.5 versus Jacksonville. I think there's some opportunities there. Let's see about some other leans that I had. I mean, I looked through. Took a long time to go through these games today. Manhattan minus 2.5 versus Sacred Heart. Another one that almost made the card. I do like East Carolina minus 4 versus Tulane. Let's see, what are some other ones that stood out to me? Liberty minus 1 versus Middle Tennessee. I think that line should be like 3 or 4. I've got Liberty winning by 3.5. So almost made the card on that one as well. What are some other ones? I want to say there's 1 or 2 more that I liked in the spot. There's some really bad games today. Really bad games on the card. Yeah, I think that's it for lean. So those are the plays. Like I said, we're going to put out some more NBA. That'll be in my Discord. Link is down below. Absolutely free to join. Hopefully you guys join the room. And I will catch you guys in the next video. 12 days until our first Major League Baseball game, by the way. Super excited for that. All right, appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next video.